What is the Cuban peso cup? Have you ever wondered what the Cuban peso is and how it fits into Cuba's unique economic system? Let's break it down. The Cuban peso, also known as moneda nacional, is the official currency of Cuba. It is issued and regulated by Cuba's central bank. The currency symbol is a dollar sign, often written as $MN to avoid confusion with other pesos. Banknotes of the Cuban peso come in various denominations, ranging from 1 to 100 pesos. Coins are available as well, with values from 1 centavo up to 3 pesos. Historically, the Cuban peso was on par with the Spanish-American silver dollar and later the United States dollar until the year 1959. After the Cuban Revolution, Fidel Castro's government adopted a socialist planned economy. During this time, the peso was pegged to the Soviet ruble, reflecting Cuba's close economic ties with the Soviet Union. This move was part of a broader effort to stabilize the currency within a socialist framework. However, the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 led to a significant economic crisis in Cuba, known as the Special Period. To cope with this crisis, Cuba introduced a dual currency system in 1994. This system included the Cuban peso and the Cuban Convertible peso, which was pegged to the United States dollar. The Cuban Convertible peso was primarily used for foreign trade and tourism, while the Cuban peso remained the currency for domestic transactions and state salaries. This dual currency system created economic divisions. Those who had access to Cuban convertible pesos could buy goods that were often unavailable or too expensive for those paid only in Cuban pesos. This situation led to inequalities within the socialist framework. In January 2021, Cuba unified its currency system by eliminating the Cuban convertible peso. The Cuban peso became the sole legal tender. This change aimed to simplify the economy, reduce inequalities, and strengthen the socialist economic model. The official exchange rate was set at 24 Cuban pesos per 1 United States dollar, replacing the previous multiple exchange rates that complicated economic planning. From a socialist viewpoint, the Cuban peso is more than just a currency. It represents an effort to align monetary policy with socialist goals, such as economic sovereignty and social equity. The currency reforms under Fidel Castro and subsequent leaders aim to use the peso as a tool to support a planned economy that prioritizes social welfare. The elimination of the dual currency system reflects ongoing efforts to address contradictions that arose during economic hardships. The goal is to restore fairness and coherence in the socialist economic structure. In practical terms, the Cuban peso facilitates everyday economic activities for the majority of Cubans, including state workers and local consumers. This reinforces the socialist ideal of a currency that serves the people rather than speculative interests. The history and reforms of the Cuban peso illustrate the challenges and adaptations of maintaining a socialist economy in a global capitalist environment.